Thank you so much for staying with us here on Prime Morning. It's time for us to get into News Flash, and that was Koko Asante coming through with fellow Ghanaians. He's going to return again tomorrow. Make sure that you're a part of it. He spoke extensively on the issue of the 1 year of swearing in the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Some of the things they have achieved, some of the things that they're yet to achieve, and also cautioning, against what may possibly happen in 2028 if they are not able to do the things that they promised Ghanaians. So we'll be looking at that conversation also here on the show as well. Of course, it's brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, Store Phones, Papa Pafi. Let's say a big thank you to Koa Naturals Fruit Juice as well, also making it possible for us to have this conversation. Now, give us a call and also download the app. The Franco Trading app is what you need right now. Website is www.francotrading.com, and once you go there, you can also get to know all about Franco Trading Enterprise. Make some purchases if you want to replace your air conditionings, your fridges, your televisions. If you want to buy a Nokia phone, an iPhone, all the gadgets that you need, the best you can get is Franco Trading Enterprise. The phone accessories, you can get them as well when you make your way to Franco Trading Enterprise. Franco says, phone Papa Pafi, and you want to discover the authentic taste of Ghana with Koa Natural Fruit Juice. Enjoy a fresh taste from cocoa with Koa Natural. Now, a healthy juice made from the white pulp that surrounds the cocoa beans. Now, the drink is here, and it's here for you, your family, your friends, and everyone that you love. Make sure that you share with them. It's naturally refreshing and stimulating every taste bad. Now, Koa Natural is proudly Ghanaian. It's made right here in GH, and it's good for you, and it's good for the Ghanaian cocoa farmer as well. So please do well, do right, sip by sip. Now, this morning, we want to get into about three major issues, and these issues are issues that actually you want to also share your thought on. And so please do well, send your messages to our WhatsApp line. Is active. We're streaming live on Facebook as well, so you can also go there and send your messages to us. The President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has been in office for a year. Today marks exactly a year when he was sworn into office. What memories does that bring you? And beyond the memories, you think that the promises have been delivered or they're yet to be delivered? We'll be looking at that. Today also is a Constitution Day, and we want to be looking at it. It's been over 34 years that, we actually started this journey. Has it been very profitable in terms of sustaining our democracy? We'll be looking at that also here on the show. And some of the things that the President has said, if we have time, we'll also get into the historic visit of Otumfuo Osei to the police headquarters. Some of the things that he said, and the IGP also, likening him to the King Solomon of our time. We'll be looking at that also here on the show as well. So all of these things, you can just drop your messages. I'll do well and read most of your messages this morning. Don't forget that News Flash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, Store Phones, Papa Pafi, and also Koa Natural Fruit Juice. My guests are here. They're seated in the studio. Sitting next to me, my immediate left, I have E.A. Metal Jr. Joining us this morning here on the show is communication team member for the NDC. I hope you're good. Metal.
I'm doing okay.
All good?
Everything is fine.
It's Happy New Year. This is the first time we're meeting in the new year.
Yeah, the first time we're meeting in 26. And it promises to be a very good year.
It does promise to be a good year. What happens on the ground is basically what we'll be looking at. So hopefully we're able to let that resonate with what happens on the ground. Right?
Yeah, sure. We'll delve into the matters in total.
And I give Awal a very good laugh. Anyway, joining us this morning again is Awal Mohammed. The MPP. Awal, good to see you. Happy New Year.
Very well, happy returns.
Which one of them are you laughing?
Yeah, the way he said we'll delve into the matter, intertwine.
Okay, all right.
Yes, we hope to see a very good year, to be very honest, because there is a saying in Chi that Konfuboni se or Trankuru Amakuru Naboa.
You do inside some? You
do inside. So definitely, we will not even wish President Mahama fails, because it's not really about performance that Ghanaians look for before they vote out a government. There are a myriad of issues. If it is about performance, Kufo wouldn't have lost, MPP wouldn't have lost in 2008, and even in 2024, because looking at the last 1 year, whatever we had done, the NDC is not able to do even a quarter of it. but we voted out because there were issues. So we believe that we wish President Mahama well, we'll keep him on his toes. The things that he said he will be able to do, we'll make sure that at least we keep him on his toes to do it. As he said, we'll delve into the matters.
Exactly.
And tell him where he had fallen short.
Okay.
Where he had,
after 1 year.
Yes.
And also applaud him.
Yeah, where he had
Very well.
Yes.
Also joining us this morning, Deputy Communications Director for the UP Party, United
Don't
Party.
change my post just like that.
Hey, from General Secretary to Communications.
Oh,
I saw the flyer. I said, this is a big mistake, but
my bad.
I decided to pardon them.
Me on the flyer, they even leaving me NDCO.
I saw the
Someone in
flyer.
Bolga
Deputy
drew my
Director. I said, oh no.
Oh, forgive me.
Address me well.
But this is the first time we are airing.
Yeah.
To that.
You know, it's on the lighter side of it all.
Great. Richard Suma is joining us this morning as well. Rich, thanks a lot for making time for us and also, spending time with us this morning. And also, I'm going to go on the Zoom. I will ask her why is joining us on Zoom. She's coordinator, Eco-Conscious Citizens, also joining us this morning. So, in that regard, we're going to be doing the very first topic, and I think that would rest on the 1 year. And the president, we all remember that, had a speech that he spoke about galamsey, and he indicated that the level of water in terms of, how bad it was a couple of years ago, is beginning to have a change. He says that it's moving from Milo to light. Milo, we were looking at that.
Coffee to light Milo.
It's moving from
coffee to light
Milo.
Yeah.
Great, but you have seen some of the water bodies.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a listen to the president, and then this is when he was sworn into office as the president of the republic. When we come back, we'll delve into some of the things that we've seen so far after 1 year.
Your Excellency, kindly say after me. This is the oath of allegiance. Your name.
John Dramani Mahama.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
That I will bear true faith.
That I will bear true faith.
And allegiance.
And allegiance.
To the Republic of Ghana.
To the Republic of Ghana.
As by law established.
As by law established.
That I will uphold.
And that I will uphold.
The sovereignty.
The sovereignty.
And integrity.
And integrity.
Of Ghana.
Of Ghana.
And that I will preserve.
And that I will preserve.
Protect.
Protect.
And defend.
And defend.
The Constitution.
The Constitution.
Of the Republic of Ghana.
Of the Republic of Ghana.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Your Excellency, now the presidential oath.
I, John Dramani Mahama,
having been elected
to
the high office of President of the Republic of Ghana, do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
That I will be faithful.
That I will be faithful.
And true.
To
the Republic of Ghana.
To the Republic of Ghana.
That I will at all times. Preserve. Protect. And defend. The Constitution. Of the Republic of Ghana. And that I dedicate myself. To the service. And well-being. Of the people. Of the Republic of Ghana. And to do right. To all manner of persons. I further
solemnly swear
that should I at any time break this oath of office, I shall submit myself
to
the laws of the Republic of Ghana and suffer the penalty for it. So help me God.
So help me.
So help me God. And that was a year ago when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was sworn into office as the president of the Republic of Ghana. And I'm sure you remember that costume, Bondana put that together for him. That also became another conversation altogether. And of course, we've moved from that state to where we are right now. But the promises and everything that, he said, in fact, galamsey was one of the things that a lot of people were looking for to seeing a very massive change in terms of what we had experienced before. The question we're asking is, have we been able to move into, that conversation where we know that the issue of galamsey has become a thing of the past? Now, the president spoke on this issue, and he actually said a few things about how much we've put into this, the fight against galamsey. Let's take a look at this.
Was the color of coffee. It says now is the color of light Milo. And so it's getting better.
He revealed that materials for the construction of a 10,000 bed capacity hostel for the University of Ghana have been shipped and will be in Ghana soon.
It is preferable that we have as many of our students living on campus or as close to campus as possible.
All right, so that's the president speaking on the issue of galamsey, the fight against galamsey, and what his government has been able to do so far. Let me quickly go to our last she's coordinator, Eco-Conscious Citizens. She has been very vehemently, campaigning against what we have seen over the last years, and also was very positive that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will be able to make some significant change when it comes to our water bodies. But the question we want to ask after a year, has this happened? Awal, good morning, and I hope you're good. And thanks for making time for us this morning.
Good morning to you, and to everybody in the studio. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And you have been very, very strong on the issue of galamsey. In fact, you believe that the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, will be able to make some significant change when voted into office. And after a year, the President says that we'll move from comfy to light Milo. Do you think that's the case on the ground?
You see, what can I say? What we need is the political will to deal with this cancer. The facts speak for themselves, not the spin. The facts speak for themselves. When we look at our water bodies, do we really think that we are happy with what we see? And then let's all be clear that even if the water is clear, it does not mean that it's not full of arsenic, mercury, arsenic. They are colorless. So the turbidity levels are one thing. The next thing is what exactly is in the water. Am I impressed with what is going on? Let's take a look at our water bodies. Are they the color we want to see? But more importantly, we need to have our waters tested for heavy metals and toxins, not just the turbidity levels, so that we know exactly what's in our water. Just like a while back, we used to measure the Akosobo Dam and publish the levels. We need to do the same thing with the water. Ghanaians need to know what they are drinking. In addition, we know that we are being poisoned. Our scientists have told us that our food is poisoned. It's not just the contumely. Our food is being poisoned. Our farmlands are being poisoned. It took us far too long to revoke LI 2462. We tried to pull the wool over our eyes with the amendment. But be that as it may, we commend the government for having revoked LI 2462. But there's still too much work to be done. There's still too much work to be done. There's still musical chairs going on. For example, look at Atronsu. They're being, under siege by illegal miners. Some of them claim to be NDC members. And it is a travesty that the Atronsu 5, the activists who were protecting their only source of water, the Atronsu stream, and their landscape, their farmers, are being prosecuted for allegedly burning excavators that were being used to, ironically, poison their water bodies. And those who have poisoned their water bodies are walking free. When this is going on, I'm not quite sure that much progress has been made. And if I might also add that we need the support of the community if we truly want to put an end to the ongoing ecocide. It's still going on. I'm not saying that no progress has been made, but if you look at the magnitude of the problem, it's like we're taking one step when there are a million steps to take. NAMOS is doing its best, but it is not adequately resolved. It does not even have a dedicated number you can call if there's illegal mining going on. Trust me, I tried doing this when there were 3 excavators in Atronsu. In addition, they are not well resolved. It's like having 100 fires raging, and then you have only one fire engine going to one fire at a time. Because of the magnitude of the task, we really need to free up all our resources to deal with this ongoing ecocide, which is killing Ghanaians. I keep on saying, like a sports record, that we face an existential threat. And we have to put partisanship aside and look at Ghana. Because when the water is being poisoned, it's not only being poisoned for one group of people, it's being poisoned for every single Ghanaian.
It's as though everything that we seem to put together, marshal every effort together to ensure this is dealt with, is not giving us the kind of results that we need. Moving forward, the president or the government has got 3 years to spend in office. Do you think, or what do you think could be the ultimate solution to this?
See, we don't have 3 years. Time is running out. Water is life. Our waters are being poisoned. We don't know what we are drinking as we speak. That's why I'm saying that we should publish to know what metals, heavy metals and toxins are in the water we are drinking. Whether it's turned from dark Milo to light Milo is completely irrelevant because these toxins are colorless. And also I'm saying that we need to do some shock and awe. We can't go to one place today, tomorrow go somewhere. Sometimes we are chased down. We need to marshal all our forces. There is a war going on. The environmental terrorists have declared war on Ghana. At this rate, we'll still be dealing with this problem in the next 10 years. Let's adequately resolve the Forestry Commission, adequately resolve the bulletproof vest, whatever they say they need, so they can deal with our forest. Let NAMOS deal with the rest of the landscape, but they need to be adequately resourced. They need more boots on the ground. The Navy needs to come in so that we can go into the water bodies. As I speak, our water bodies are still diverted. What is being done about it? Today we go here, we say we've arrested so-and-so, burnt 1 or 2 champans. The magnitude of the problem, we are not dealing with it robustly enough. Nobody is saying no efforts are being made. But the magnitude of the problem at this rate will be at it for the next 10 years. There's a war going on. Let's marshal all our forces and deal with this existential threat. Otherwise, we will all perish.
From all that we have done, in your opinion, do you think that we are fighting a losing battle?
I'm saying that we haven't done enough. So we cannot say we are fighting a losing battle. When we have not put all our resources after this tanker, we have not done that.
Okay.
The political will is not completely there. We still have people who claim to be NDC, whether appointees or supporters, who are involved in illegal mining. We did not vote for musical chairs. We did not vote for musical chairs. So the president may have the good intention, but we need the collective political will to deal with this problem. When appointees are accused of being involved in illegal mining, something has to be done. The Coalition Against Illegal Mining has written to Parliament, has written to the President about persons closely connected with the administration who are allegedly involved in illegal mining. We're not going to mention names here, but they have not been dealt with. Openly in Atronsu, somebody masquerading as an NDC chairman was behind or allegedly behind the illegal mining going on. So what I'm saying is that we did not vote for musical chairs. We are not doing enough. So we cannot say we are fighting a losing battle. Because are we actually fighting? Are we actually fighting? I think not.
Okay. Thank you very much for spending time with us this morning. I will say, wow, we appreciate your time. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to find out the turbidity level of the water bodies right now. Do you have any idea?
Well, what I would say is that the facts speak for themselves. Maybe some have improved, but let's be honest, this is not the time for posturing. The reality is that our water bodies, the turbidity levels are still
bad.
At an undesirable level. And more importantly, we know that the heavy metals, the toxins are colorless. Let's not deceive Ghanaians. You may have clear water coming from your taps. Does that mean that it does not contain mercury, arsenic, or cyanide? Let's be honest with Ghanaians. So yes, some of the turbidity levels may have improved. I'm not going to say nothing has improved. But if you look at the magnitude of the problem, is it significant enough to be patting ourselves on the shoulders? I think not. We are at war. We can win this war. But what we need is the political will to win the war and to throw all the resources behind solving this problem. It is an existential threat. The ecocide must stop. And we can do it. All we need is the political will.
All we need is the political will. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Once again, Awal say, well, we appreciate it. All right, Awal Sewa is the coordinator for eco-conscious citizens, joining us here on the show. It's been 1 year since His Excellency, the President John Dramani Mahama, got into office, and after 1 year, we're trying to assess some of the things that, the promises that were made, if indeed they have been delivered. And also, today happens to be Constitution Day, and so we're putting all of that together and see what we can make out of it. You can also send your messages to us. Our WhatsApp line is active. We're streaming live on Facebook, and you can do well to send your messages over there. The segment is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, Still Phones, Papa Paya Fie, and also Core Natural Fruit Juice. Let me get into my guest in the studio, and a bit later we'll try and see if we can have engineer Dr. Ken Ashibe also joining us on the show as well. But I'll start off with Neto. After 1 year, are you impressed yourself?
Yeah, KMJ, before I start, let me say a very good morning to yourself, and good morning to the production team and the technical team here, and good morning to our cherished viewers and all listeners of the NDC within Greater Accra listening to me. Since it's the first day on your esteemed show, I'd like to say Happy New Year to all of you. 1 year in office, I think that the fight against galamsey has been good. We've seen the political will on the part of the government in the fight against galamsey. I will
believe that's not true.
Yeah, but that's an opinion, and I'm going to back them with facts. And why I'm saying that we have seen the political will from this Mahama administration in the fight against galamsey. It's important that viewers and Ghanaians know that the issue of galamsey is not something that's just happened within the last NPP administration or the NDC, current NDC administration. It's something that has been with us from time immemorial. And before, it used to be just to gather and sell, where the people were using pans to be able to gather the materials and wash them in the water bodies. But it metamorphosized into artisanal illicit mining, where people were now using excavators and other heavy machineries to excavate the land and destroy our water bodies, destroy our forest reserves. It's also important that in as much as we are talking about what the government has done so far, we look at the depth from which we came from in the fight against galamsey, where we were, and then people will be able to appreciate what the current government has done, and the viewers will be able to judge whether there's the political will or whether we've done something about it. In the last 8 years, what we saw in galamsey issues that happened to Ghana was large destruction of our forest reserves. And we saw that under the past administration. We saw civil society organizations, we saw members of the media all coming together talking about the fact that we needed to be able to stop this illicit and illegal trading. And most of this destruction, we also saw, you see, the issue of galamsey destroys two main things. That's the forest reserves and our water bodies. So in as much as we saw large parts of our forest reserves being destroyed, we also saw our water bodies being polluted. Water bodies like the Ankoba River, River Brim, River Ofin, Tano River, Blackwater, Ayesu River, and then all that. What happens to the water bodies when they are destroyed? There are two key things, and I will listen to Awal carefully. One has to do with turbidity, and one has to do with the toxins that are found in the water. Now, turbidity is a level of pollution, where turbidity is the level of pollution that you see in the water where it changes the color. And the other part is where you see the toxic chemicals that these illegal miners are using, like mercury, cyanide, and heavy metals like lead, arsenic, cadmium, etc. that are being used over there. The effect of this is, one, destruction of the forest reserves, and also pollution of the water bodies with these toxic chemicals and heavy materials, largely leading to kidney failures amongst human beings, also leading to defects in children that are giving birth to, and then all that. We also saw in the last administration government officials, appointees, that were partaking in the galamsey fight. I will look at that when I'm telling you what we've done and the achievement that we've done so far. We saw MPP party executives and all that. Now, under our administration.
No, I'll come back to you. Yeah. Let me engage Engineer Kenashipe for a couple of minutes. He has to go somewhere, so let me just try and engage him quickly. Very, very good morning to you, sir. I hope you're good.
But hello? I can't hear anything. There's no sound coming from your end. I can't hear anything.
Can you hear me now?
No, I can't. There's no sound at all. You know, you are muted. It tells me Joy Prime is muted.
Okay, let me try and see how the technical team can work on that. But I'll try and engage you. I'll come back to you in a couple of minutes. But
yeah. So
okay, I think we can engage him now. Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much for your time this morning here on the show.
Thank you very much.
Good. I'm sure you should be very happy right now hearing the president say that we've moved from coffee to light Milo in terms of turbidity level of the water, because you've been vehemently against this illegal mining and also campaigned heavily to ensure that we get to where we are now. Are you excited about this?
Well, the interesting thing is that the turbidity of water even is not measured with the colors of Milo and coffee. But I'm sure the president was speaking in jest. You know, typically knowing the president and his communication, he wants to carry everybody along. We need to concede that coming into office, the president has demonstrated some will to fight this galamsey. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has been reasoned in the fight. You know, when he took on the job of acting Minister for Environment, we finally have seen the revocation of the airline, 2462. You know, it's something that was not going anywhere. And then we've also seen NIMOS and the work NIMOS has been doing. And I think that's been very progressive. But the coalition, we've done some tests. You know, we've done some research on some water treatment plants, the Brim, the Pra, I think about 3 of them. Unfortunately, the data does not support the president's, you know, he's looked at Ayensu. I think the water body he was talking about was Ayensu. And you'll find out that Ayensu is also one river that NIMOS has done a lot of work on. So you're beginning to see the result. But one of the promises that was made when we met the president as CSOs was the fact that we're going to get NIMOS deployed to permanent places within these mining areas. That has not happened. And I think it's significantly because the resources that we require to be able to get that to happen has not happened. And so, in as much as there's a bit of progress in some of the places, you also see NIMOS going out and, you know, the arrests that have been made and all of that. I will not share totally in the president's optimism. The thing is that he is pushing it, his minister is pushing it, but unfortunately, you know, you have MCs and DCs in communities who should be able to deal effectively with this. They keep waiting for the president, they keep waiting for the Minister for Lands to send NIMOS from Accra to come into these places. What are these MCs and DCs doing? His Excellency, the president, has told us that the galamsey was a KPI for these MCs and DCs. How come they are still in office? There is even one DC who currently is a convict. He's been convicted for contempt around galamsey issues. This DC says that the person who took him to court is rather the galamseyer who, when they seize his equipment, it seems to be released to him. We would have thought that His Excellency would have asked this DC to step aside. Let's investigate it. If it is him who is guilty, he is punished. But if it is the other person who took him to court, then we deal with it. It is important that His Excellency the President does not fall into the trap that the former president fell in. You remember? Musumil Framu, DC, he confessed and was caught on tape on an illegality. What did we see? He was not taken through at 955. All we saw was a dismissal. And it's one of the things that we're asking His Excellency to ensure that does not happen. Another challenge. Look at all the people that NIMAS have arrested, including Kimpings, the Osino Kimping. But tell me, how many of them have you seen successfully prosecuted? You know, even the issues around Akunta mining, look at how the cases are going.
Yeah.
Also, the president caused the Attorney General to get Iyoko to do some investigations. When we met His Excellency the President, it's one of the questions I've asked. The AG keep on telling us that, there's some investigations going on. One of the big problems we have, and we had the same thing with Operation Vanguard, is the fact that the issues around prosecution, convictions, so far as this fight is concerned, has not been as robust as we want it to be. So this is where we would expect His Excellency the President to get the Minister for Interior, the Attorney General, the IGP to work together with the Chief Justice. We need to be able to be a bit more robust with the prosecution and conviction of the people who are involved in this dastardly act.
I want to find out, now the big issue, and I will also speak about the same thing, has to do with the political will to be able to deal with this. Now, from all indications, we're making the steps, but the political will is not really there. If you look at some of the things that you've enumerated right now, I want to find out if where we are, you think that maybe we're just fighting a losing battle and we're not going to get anywhere with this.
Well, you see, when it comes to governance, what is the Constitution says that sovereignty resides with you and I, the people. You know, the issues around political will and all of that, it's a product of what all of us do together with our leaders. I think that definitely His Excellency has demonstrated better political will. He has a minister who is also fighting it, but there are a few other things that need to come into it to be able to be a bit more robust and thoughtful. And I think that for us, so media houses like yourself and a few of us, but we need a lot more people also coming together to really focus and let, all of us see the extent of the challenge that is staring us in the face. There's one major problem that currently also has come up. It's the issue of cyanidation. Now you're having some of these small-scale miners. They bring people from Burkina Faso and they call something in situ leaching. So they do the pit and then they put the cyanide in it and then they try to leach the gold in it. The unfortunate thing is that large-scale mines, when they do leaching, these pits are lined so that the water from these pits do not get into the underground water treatment plant. I can tell you that in the Ashanti region, had it not been for the intervention of the EPA working together with some of the large-scale miners, we would have had a major challenge because you had some of the places where this leaching pits were very close to a borehole. And, had it not been for the fact that this borehole itself, the mechanized system had broken down, and they were trying to repair it, and it took the EPA to go and say, no, don't, because of the challenge, would have wound up the whole community. And so this is also another major challenge. The issue beyond the mercury and the heavy metals that we were seeing, there's also this. And as I told you, if you look at the research that we did, the coalition has done of a few of the water treatment plants looking at water quality. Turbidity, it was only brim at the Apampama, the source that we were seeing around 11 NTUs. That is not too far away from the 5 NTUs that we want. But in all the other water treatment places that we have, they were way above the limits. Then also the oxygen injection of the water was also very low, that it would not support aquatic life. Then you have the issues of heavy metal, arsenic, lead, mercury that was in the water. And so the challenge is still staring us in the face. Then you have the issues around security. There are communities where, some of these illegal miners go and bring mercenaries whose job it is to just come and provide protection. You remember the issue of your colleague in the Ashanti region. He was beaten in the presence of the police by these people because these people had outgunned and outnumbered the police. On him interior, there was also the gentleman from City who was also beaten. So the issues around the militarization of some of these areas, go to most of our border areas where this is happening as well. You have that challenge also staring at. So, in as much as I would say to His Excellency that NIMAS is doing some good job, there is still a lot of work that needs to be done. And all of us, we need to really put our shoulder to the wheel. I would urge multimedia to take the engagement that the president had with the CSO and list out all the things that were said, questions that we asked, the commitments that were made by the minister, by the president, everybody who spoke. And let's see how far we have gone with all of those.
Okay.
So that together we'll be able to deal with this challenge that stares us in the face.
Doc, thank you so much for joining us this morning and spending some time with us here on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great. And that's Engineer Dr. Ken Nashigbe joining us this morning, CEO Ghana Chamber of Mines, and also one of the people that is strongly against illegal mining, Galamsey. Metal, finish up with where you were and then...
Yeah, so I guess took us through the journey of where we came from in the Galamsey, and now I'm going to tell you what the current government has done under John Dramani Mahama administration. And then the viewers will judge whether there's a political will or whether we've achieved anything in the fight against the illegal mining canker that is worrying all of us. First of all, KMD, we have 288 forest reserves in Ghana. As at the time that we took over the administration of Ghana on the 7th of January 2025, exactly a year ago, 44 of the forest reserves had been taken over by illegal miners. And then 9 of them were red zones. When I say red zones, where you had illegal miners who were very violent with weapons and things protecting the place, that even national state security apparatus could not enter and penetrate there to be able to suck them away. 9 of them were red zones. The others that were yellow, green, etc. I'm not going to concentrate on them that have been taken over. The 9 forest reserves, from the time that we took over in 2025, have all been reclaimed back. And the illegal miners have been sacked from those areas and they've not been able to return there again. And for the avoidance of doubt, anybody listening to me that would want to check, the 9 forest reserve, we have the Jimira forest, we have the Jimira extension, we have the Afao forest, we have the Tano and Wia forest, we have the Ofin shelter belt, and we also east and we also south, Subri and Asenayo forest. All these 9 forest reserves that were marked red, that were marked red. Okay, I mentioned 9 of them. I said Jimira Forest, Jimira Extension, Afao, that's number 3, Tano, Anwia, Ofin Shelter Belt, Anwia East, Anwia South, Subri Forest, Asenayo Forest. I mentioned 9. Okay. So do your counting work. All these 9 forest reserves that were marked red, that have been taken over by illegal miners, have been reclaimed back. So you cannot say that there's a government that has been sitting down with our hands in our laps and not doing anything about the fight against illegal mining. We've reclaimed all these forest reserves. And some of them right now, they are replanting the trees there to be able to get back the forest cover so that they can absorb more of the carbon dioxide and then give us oxygen. That's one of the things that we've done. Another thing that we've done is that, see, the illegal miners use excavators. And day in, day out, if you go to the Tema Harbor, we see large numbers of excavators coming into this country. Nobody knows where they are going. Under the Minister of Transport, DVLA, now any excavator that enters this country is registered. And then we want to trace what exactly you are going to use excavators for and where you are going. Most of them that have not been able to tell us what they are going to use it for, go to Pema Camp today. Most of the excavators that have been seized are parked there today. And apart from registering the excavators at the ports, okay, the point of entry into the country, we're also tracking the excavators. Even if you are registered and you tell us that it's going to be used for construction, we are tracking where you are taking the excavators to. And you tell us that the government has done nothing about it. Another thing again that we've done, when it comes to the legal aspect and the judicial aspect, people who have been arrested, engaged in this illegal mining, over 1,000 of them are being prosecuted in court today. They are standing trial. And most of them, at the end of the cases, no matter, depending on how the verdict of the case goes, are going to be convicted or they are going to be released. But I'm very certain, with the evidence at hand and with the prosecutions, the way they are going with our well-established Attorney General, we are going to get some of them. That's the fact that we've established an independent body in the name of NIMOS. That is fighting galamsey. We've seen NIMOS where they've dealt with people and members of parliament from our party, where they've dealt with senior members of our parliament trying to give counter orders and they did not obey, and they were focused on being patriotic and delivering on why they were established. And this is not like the Operation Vanguard, where you saw appointees of the government engage in them and promoting illegal mining. Also, we've seen the Blue Water Guards. It's for no reason that we are seeing that the establishment of Blue Water Guards are guarding our water bodies. For no reason that we are seeing that the stability level in some of the areas are coming down. We've also seen that the alternatively livelihood support. We realize that in most of the communities where these natural resources are, there's unemployment over there, and the people feel that this is what they can engage in terms of to get economic returns. So we are providing alternative livelihood support. Some of them are being trained in soft skills. Some of them are being grouped so that they can do community mining and then all that. And most importantly, the revocation of the LI 2462. That was granted under the previous government. That gave permission and authorization of people to enter our forest reserves to mine. Concluding on my statement on our fight, anybody who thinks that the NDC government or is in doubt that the John Mahama administration is not fighting illegal mining, there are two key things that you need to look at. Look at the forest reserve that we've reclaimed and look at the improvement that is happening to our water bodies. And then you know that the government is indeed fighting galamsey.
Okay. Richard, let me take your thought on that and then I'll move to my brother.
Oh, okay. First of all, let me also use this platform to extend my warm greetings to your entire production team, yourself, my co-brothers, and to wish all Ghanaians a happy new year, and to the people of Ho Central, and to the entire members and the leadership of the United Party. I would like to use this platform to extend warm good morning to each and every one of them. You see, the issue about galamsey, we've all come to admit that it's a national cancer. It's not only a canker, it's a cancer that is eating deep into the very soul, the heart, and the lungs of this country. And we all have come to admit that if care is not taken, either the galamsey fight will rather overpower us or we overpower the fight, which is two things. Either we win or they win is two things. And if you look at the current dispensation where we have a new government in place, they are doing their ultimate best to make sure that they keep the momentum. But the job at hand is quite overwhelming. It's enormous. And it is enormous because you require a lot of resources and you require a lot of commitment in order to win this war. Obviously, from the very inception of this government, if they haven't done much, perhaps it might have been worse or it could have escalated. But you notice that they are making a conscious effort to continue from where the others left it. Because governance is a continuous process. And this fight against galamsey is neither a war that NPP will want to win and take the glory, or NDC alone will want to win and take the glory, because it's a national issue. But you see, it becomes more diabolic when other ones are praying so hard that the government of the day should fail in the war against the illegal mining fight, so that they can also capitalize on it and say that we told you.
Political advantage.
It becomes politically advantage to them. But if you look at the way NDC is taking the fight, that should tell you that as at now, apart from the MP that we heard that he mobilized some tax to attack the NIMO's operation team, you realize that he said he was arrested, taken to court. As we speak today, we don't know how far that issue too has traveled, whether he has been left off the hook or investigations are still ongoing on, we cannot tell. But in a nutshell, I can say they are doing some steps, or they are taking some tremendous steps to win the war. But let me tell you one thing. The traditional authorities, the last time I chanced upon a document, because I was working on something for one of their members, and they have also come out with a plethora of proposals to government, that look, if government is able to look into some of the proposals they are turning out, obviously, they may also be able to get empowered to play a major role. Because you see, NIMOs go to a specific place, they leave, who takes over? So if we really want to win the war against galamsey, we need to find a space for the traditional authorities in the fight against galamsey. But CSOs, the CSOs can only talk. They don't have any power to do anything. But the traditional authorities, how is government willing to collaborate with them? So for instance, they are proposing that the government should create a platform for them to become a member of the Security Coordinating Council at all district assembly levels.
Registration.
Now, they are also proposing that the government should amend the law and give them a right to become custodians of the natural resources that are deposited within their jurisdictions. They are also proposing that government should give them the power to arrest, the power to prosecute, the power to take on illegal miners. Because I know they don't have any power. You can see somebody doing illegal mining in your jurisdiction. You don't have the power to arrest the person. You can only call the police officers to come in and go and arrest the people on your behalf. They are also asking the government to do something about it so that they can have the power to do what? Arrest. Now, they are also proposing that, look, at the end of the day, the royalties that comes from the gold we mined, the traditional authorities, are they entitled to any of the royalties? Perhaps not. They are also advocating that they should give them a percentage of the mineral royalties so that they can
use to develop
they can also use it to develop community. They can also use it to incentivize their youth who will be aggressively on the ground and arresting and combating the illegal mining activity that is happening within their communities. There is a plethora of issues that they have listed here. Maybe I may be able to share the document with you so that we can look at the recommendations that they are putting forward. And if maybe we are able to take these recommendations very seriously, perhaps they and their involvement will enable us to win the war against galamsey. Because if you leave it entirely to government and government machinery, they may do their best, but we cannot sustain it. But government to come, government to go, the traditional authorities, they will always be there. So I'm appealing to the government that if we can, the way he brought all the CSOs to the Jubilee House, they all have the judge, or they discuss issues into like my brother said. Obviously, if they can bring all the traditional authorities in which in their jurisdiction illegal mining activities are going on there, perhaps if they can meet government and put forward their own recommendations so that everybody will hear that these are their recommendations. If government is able to act on it, obviously, I am sure with their involvement, we can win the war. We can make some progress.
All right. Awal, let me take your thought on that as well.
Thank you so much, and good morning to our cherished viewers. And I am happy that your production team called two people who were very vociferous during our time. You remember Engineer Kenashibe, just after President Akufo-Addo took over in 2017, he organized a press conference in March and said there must be a moratorium on mining, small-scale mining. The president in June accepted it, and there was a moratorium for 2 years. So he has been really fighting this together with you because it is media coalition for the fight against galamsey. So they did all the work for the NDC and they highlighted all the ills of the past administration at that time, which gave them the impetus to write into their manifesto things that when they come, they will be able to do. So if you want to do an assessment of President Mahamad's 1 year in terms of fight against galamsey, you have to look at what did he promise and what has he achieved. That's very important. Than saying that, well, we've arrested these people, we've done this thing, we've done that thing. Look at what you promised vis-a-vis the deliverables. Then you know that indeed you have done well or we're retrogressing. Because if you check what is happening today, I do not see anything new from what we were doing. But let's look at what they promised. First thing is that the president said he will use AI to fight galamsey. 2 is that he said he would declare war on galamsey. He will arrest the kingpins and give amnesty to those who were incarcerated because they were small boys. Then he said he will repeal the LI 2462. These are the things that the president promised the people of this country. Now, when you check in all this, it is only one that has been achieved partially. That is the LI 2462, which has been repealed.
When you say partially, it means what?
When I say partially, I mean that it has been repealed, but it has not rid the forest of companies mining in the forest reserve. Because that is not the only thing that will prevent mining in the forest reserve. As I speak right now, there are 2 companies that are mining in forest reserve, and they are mining legally even after the repeal of this.
Companies that you are aware of?
Yes. Yeah, they are mining legally. Chirano and Newmont Hachim, they are still mining in forest reserve. These are companies that are mining in forest reserve? Yes, they are still mining in forest reserve because, you see, until
you factually
yes, I've cross-checked this. Until sections of the Mining and Minerals Act 206, Act 703 are repealed, you can still have people mine in the forest reserve. The LI was just a regulation to regulate it, but the granting of licenses, it is in the Mining and Minerals Act, and until that is amended, you still find people mining in the forest reserve. So what he's saying is not true, that because of the repeal of the LI, it means people are not mining in the forest reserve. That is 1. 2 is that he mentioned that they are now they register all excavators and they track them. This didn't start with the coming of this government. This has been there, and there is an LI. The LI is Mining's Operation Tracking and Tracking of Earth Moving and Mining Equipment Regulation 2020, LI 24004. And this came into being in 2020.
And was enforced?
It was enforced in 2023. In 2023, we tracked 4,000 excavators, Telegraphic reported. In 2023, 2024, the tracking is there. Even the minister, I listened to one of his interviews, he said that indeed they are continuing with the tracking. You cannot bring them here. But you see, today, people are importing excavators than before, to the extent that the port got choked and they had to move some at night. You reported this.
Yeah, the transport ministry should address that issue.
I'm saying that today, people are importing these machines in droves to the extent that the port got choked and they were moving them at night to even get them a safekeeping place at Burma camp. So it tells you that the thing is really getting out of hand. It's not really about the tracking. It's not really about the registration. It's about the will to be able to track and get them, because you can track them and leave them. On the kingpins, the president said he will arrest the kingpins. NIMOS had reported that they had arrested 1,400 people in the last 1 year. Out of the 1,400, how many kingpins have been arrested? None. None. Out of the 1,400 that they had arrested in 2025, we are yet to see a kingpin. We have heard of Oscar Oforilabi, MP for our win. It came earlier that the chiefs organized a press conference to ostracize him from the place and said that he was given the Tano Anua forest that you are talking about that has been captured. He said he parceled it out for galamseyers and was taking 200,000 cedis from them. What has the president done about it? Again, the Hidiem incident. As I speak, even Engineer Kenashibe or Richard had mentioned that what had happened to him. Today, there is no single person who has been arrested there. These are people who were attacking NIMOS officials. The NIMOS boss himself was part of it. To the extent that the police station became unsafe for military people. They were on video. You and I have the videos on our phones. None of the officials, none of the boys had been arrested. Again, a DCE who was convicted. I heard Engineer Kenashibe talking about it. As I speak, he's still at post. He was convicted by a court for going on a land, a parcel of land that the court had injuncted to do galamsey. That is the court case. That is the court charge sheet. And as reported by GBC, that he was sentenced for 8 days and it was later converted into 12,000 cedis for him to pay. And the man is still at post because he is the constituency chairman of Atiwa East. So definitely the president cannot remove him. We heard about Abanga and Yamin. As I speak, there's no report on Abanga and Yamin whether they have been exonerated or they are guilty.
So the NDC seem to be doing exactly what the NPP also did.
No, we didn't do that because because the only official that his name was mentioned and evidence was adduced was the Boseme Frey, who DC, and was removed by the president, by Akufo-Addo. Yes, he's the only official that his name was
throughout the period under administration.
Yeah, throughout that evidence was adduced. Yes, he's the only one. The other person you talk about,
Wontumi was also still doing.
Wontumi was not a government official. He was a party man. I am talking about a DCE, who a court of competent jurisdiction has said that he had entered into a place that has been injuncted and was doing galamsey.
Wontumi belong to your party?
Yes, he's a chairman, and he is still standing trial today. So you don't talk about it because the man is standing trial.
You could have done that under your administration. You didn't see any wrong with what you did.
No, because even today, the case is crumbling. If you had followed the case in court, because the state says that they do not have any official documentation to prove that Chairman Wontumi asked people to enter into the Tano Anua forest to mine. In the court, the last agenda date, that was what the state said when they were calling for the things that they will use, the state will use against him. So that case is crumbling. Again, you see, he mentioned the Blue Water Guard. According to Professor Martin Otin Ababio, he is the chairman of the Forestry Commission. He said majority of the Blue Water Guard had been compromised. They pay them 2,000 cedis, and the galamseyers will give them 20,000, and they will not move into the forest to even show them the places. Now you are inaugurating people. If you go to my constituency, Asawasi, they have 22 people who have really been employed at NIMOS. Asawasi is in the heart of Kumasi. There's nothing going on there. The DCE posted, we didn't even know about it. The MCE, when we challenged him that he had done nothing, 3 days ago posted the NIMOS people in Asawasi. What are they going to do there? It is in the heart of Kumasi. Asawasi is in the heart of Kumasi. So if you are sending them to Manson Kwanta, you are compromising their security. Because they don't know the places. Blue Water Guards, when they were inaugurated, we heard that they know all the lungu, and they will be able to direct the NIMOS people to make arrests, right?
They were using intelligence.
Exactly. So now you have picked some people in the heart of Kumasi, 22 people. It means you are paying them for doing nothing. And we had reports that some of the galamseyers had even impregnated some of the.
Wow.
No, but you see,
Did you hear about it? Oh, it was reported by.
Mentioned that they asked for the blue water guard. It was a non-starter because obviously they will be compromised. But you see, not to interject our.
Yes.
Okay, I will finish.
Just
I want to wrap up for me.
Just wrap up. I'm saying that
so that we can do.
If you want to know the turbidity of the water, it is about what happens on the grounds. Konyaku Water Project processing plant was shut down. That rendered half of Central Region off because of galamsey and turbidity. Chebi was also shut down. Today, I am happy that Engineer Kenashibe is saying that as for the Brim and Pra, it is still worse. Again, we know that we are today paying close to 20% in terms of water bills because, according to Ghana Water Company, the turbidity levels today, the chemicals they use to treat that water is now higher because the chemicals cannot really treat them, so they have to go for more sophisticated ones. And that is the reason Ghanaians had to pay 20% increase in water alone. I should tell you that indeed galamsey is worsening by the day.
Okay.
KMJ, look, I'm coming. The only way I have said, I just want to re-echo it. The only way we can win this war against illegal mining is to look into the traditional authorities. Yeah. They are the people that if we empower them adequately, resource them adequately, the resources we are giving to Naibos. You're
confident that they won't be
no, because they are the custodians of the land. They are the ones who spearhead day in, day out activity that happens within their community.
How are you sure that they won't be compromised?
I am saying that if we bring them on board.
No, they're receiving away. Even that. No, they're receiving away. They're receiving away because you see, when you check in our manifesto, we mentioned that we will inaugurate the community mining, and these people said that well they will do cooperative. That unfortunately led to the death of about 8 people in Obuasi when they were doing it. What the essence of it is that you go to the community, you track where the gold is, you give it to the community, the chief, the opinion leaders, and everyone. They will mine there. When they mine there, tomorrow if you go, their water is destroyed. You can hold them responsible.
We need to bring them in. We need to bring them in. Yes.
I think so. You should share that document with me.
I'll share it with
you. Just a quick one on this one.
Just a quick one. So I think I'll start from the traditional authorities part. Yeah. I think firsthand, I visited some mining sites within the eastern region, and I encountered a couple of people, youths who were engaged in illegal mining. One of the places that I went to, at Eginam, one of the places I went to, that the place was, yes, Eginam.
They are doing it in the heart of the town.
One of the places that I went to, that the place had been excavated, the whole place in the forest. So when you look from the outside, you see the trees around it. But when you enter, you realize that the whole place is Sakura. And then when I was talking to them, they were saying that the next, just where they had excavated the whole place, the next place over there that had the forest cover, they're saying that there's more gold there than where they mined. And I asked them that, so why have they not been able to go there? And they said the chief over there, where that jurisdiction is, had promised them that if they attempt and they try to venture into his jurisdiction, he's going to make sure that he's going to deal with them mercilessly. And they've tried all ways to be able to compromise him by giving money. They were not able to do it. That is why in our manifesto we said that, see, you cannot sit in Accra and issue licenses for people to mine. And then when they go to the communities where the chiefs are, and then they see the people mining, they don't even know the jurisdiction, the geographical area where they are supposed to mine, they can exceed it and then all that. So let's decentralize the issuance of the licensing, so that the people who issue the license, and there's a traditional authority part of it, where they are also going to be part of the people who are going to sign. And then make sure that if you issue a license for you to mine in the studio of Joy Prime, you are going to mine only in that area, you don't exceed that area. But already when you talk about decentralization, the traditional authorities are part of the assembly system. They have a representation on the municipal assemblies and district assemblies already. But what we're proposing in our manifesto is where we decentralize the issuance, where the traditional authorities come to play. And I like the fact that you're a very good MPP communicator. Intelligently, you avoided the issue of registration and only centered on the issue of tracking. Yeah, tracking was started.
I'm coming.
I'm coming. Tracking was, we are continuing and done better of what you people started when it comes to tracking. But I'm talking about the registration of the excavators.
So they were not doing
at
the
point of
registration.
No. That is new.
You have
the registration of the excavators. No, you're not doing it. The registration of the excavators at the point of entry. That is new, and that was not done by them. And that is something that we are doing now under this John Dramani Mahama administration. The DCE matter that I spoke about. It's a land dispute. It had nothing. It was an injunction on the land.
On a mining land.
Injunction on the land. The land, that was in 1957. And that dispute had been there even before he became a DCE. And there was an injunction that don't enter the land. And he entered the land. Obviously, it's
to do what?
To do what? When you enter the land. When they say do not enter the land.
That was what court said.
When they said do not enter the land, we see things in Accra where people are injuncted from entering
this one,
land.
They said he entered and didn't galamsey.
Onto the land.
Stop rationalizing
onto
this.
The land. Once step onto the land, it's contempt of court. And that's what happened.
Not that.
That had nothing to do.
Let's see how we can make. We don't have much time anyway.
I know there's time.
Yes,
there's no time.
But can we do a quick one on the Otumfuo's historic visit to the Ghana Police Service? Now, there's something that the IGP mentioned. He said Otumfuo, for all that he has done in solving many issues that we have had over here in terms of conflicts and all of that, he likened him to that of King Solomon. I don't know what your comments will be on Richard.
Well, just a brief one.
Yeah.
Yes, sincerely, even though in as much as we are not practicing a monarch system, but we have all come to admit that the Otumfuo of Osei, we all believe that he's an epitome of wisdom. He has demonstrated good courage, good character, and we all revere him. We all believe that he has something to offer. So sincerely, whatever he came to do or came to say, we look forward that the government will most often tap into his knowledge. But my only concern is that there are other chiefs all over, spread across the country. The same way we are paying a lot of homage to him, we are giving him a lot of attention, we will also want to see this same equal attention given to other chiefs across the country. Because we have that Bobo Mafia, they are all there. They are all there. There are a lot of revered chiefs around the country. But you see, when we try to create the impression that we are projecting one above the rest, we may not be getting it right. So we should create an environment where every chief will be equally given that same kind of recognition as far as conflict mediations and other things are concerned. But anything other than that, I believe in Otumfuo and I believe in his wisdom and his integrity.
All right. Awal.
Yeah, I think Otumfuo Tutu had done so well, especially after he took over. He started adjudicating cases within Ashanti region. So as I speak, there are no pending issues in Ashanti region.
I mean, every president is sitting on one.
So, for instance, when you go to my place, if you just say there was an issue that started in the 80s, when he came within 1 year, he was able to resolve it, and there is a chief there. So he did all these things within Ashanti region. Then he, by extension, he started helping and so on. Look at the Dagbon case. Yeah. He didn't do it alone. He did it with the Yabungra and the Nairi. They did it together and so on. You see, you will have to make yourself very relevant to really be able to be tapped. Yeah. It's very important. When you check, Toboya had been on bigger boards in this country. Yeah. He is today the chairman of the Council of State, right? Yeah. So, yes, they are used in diverse ways, but he makes himself available to be used. For instance, this visit, it was not state managed. Almost all the IGPs, they go to almost all these chiefs. They pay homages to them. They went to him in Kumasi. Then he said he wants to come and also pay them a visit in Accra. And he came. And that is historic because it had never happened. So it is out of his own ingenuity that he's able to really do all these things, and he makes himself very relevant. So I think that the other chiefs can also start some initiative. For the first time, you had him move from Kumasi to Accra to visit the Gamanche.
Yeah.
That was also historic because it had also never happened before. You understand? So he did all these things to make himself relevant. He had never served on any of the boards, any state, has not been to any, held any position within the state. But because he made himself very relevant, the state feels that this is someone we can tap into his wisdom to help. So the others can emulate. So let's congratulate Otu for doing these things.
None of us have any problem with
Yes.
Okay. Beto.
In the quest to develop a country, it's not only the politicians or the technocrats that develop the country. You need the religious leaders, and you need the traditional authorities playing a role. One of the traditional authorities that have been outstanding in their role when it comes to national development, ensuring peace, is Otunfo Osei-Tutu II, the king of Ashanti. And it's not by the fact that the media gives him a lot of recognition or they prioritize him. It's by how he has established himself and how he carries himself. That is how he is treated. And I would encourage other traditional authorities across Ghana to also carry themselves in that manner so that the nation or the politicians will be able to use them to foster and then promote development within the country. Because sometimes the politicians cannot do a lot. But if politicians, traditional authorities, and religious authorities come together, we'll be able to push the development agenda in Ghana, and we'll get to the ladder, the point of the ladder where we want to see Ghana. So it's a good thing. And
yes.
Go on.
Do you know that it's only in Ashanti region that you don't even have land guards? You can buy a land and keep it for 20 years. No one will encroach.
Nobody will disturb
because you see, if the chief sells it to another person, he will be the
Yeah, no, too fast.
Okay,
so
that's caution enough.
Yeah, so you will be the stool.
You just I'll show that one. We've seen him distilling some of his.
The kind of power he will. That's why we are saying if we replicate this power into other sub-chiefs, that galamsey is happening within their jurisdiction. They can do a magnitude of work for us.
Yeah, so I think that when that's what I'm saying, that when these three authorities come together,
you know how some of these chiefs also are. If you're not, some of them, you give them the authority.
Yes.
But today's Constitutional Day. Today's Constitutional Day. You know, we haven't spoke about the JM.
We've not spoken about 365 days.
We never know.
We delve into galamsey and the main topic for the day.
2 minutes or 365 days.
You played the JM's voice and we heard him.
You want to
higher you read before you read.
Higher you. We have done well. We have done well.
365 days.
Oh, at least before you read your messages, what is Constitutional Day?
365 days. Oh, he started, so let him start.
What do you want to say?
Oh well, certainly. We need to give praise.
Everybody has 1 minute though.
Yeah, we need to give praise where praise is due. You know, obviously, you cannot sow a seed today and expect it to be fruiting tomorrow. You need to go through a lot of processes. I would sincerely want to believe that the first year of JM administration, he has done a good job. In terms of his personality, in terms of how affable he has been, how accessible he has been, in terms of how he's tried to carry every citizen along. Because leadership is not always about bread and butter issues. It's about how you avail yourself to the people that you lead. And I believe sincerely that he has departed strictly away from the kind of leadership Nana Akufo-Addo gave us. And the kind of leadership John Dramani Mahama is giving us is what really the people are looking up to. Today, at least, fuel stability is still there. We are enjoying it relatively. At least, we are enjoying a political atmosphere that the temperature is a little bit minimal. So I sincerely believe that we should look forward to him doing greater things for us this year. Things he sowed last year, I'm sure this year they will start fruiting and we will enjoy the benefits of it.
Coming from the most objective opposition party in Ghana, I'll say less. The UP is the most objective opposition party. They criticize objectively. So then I'm just telling you that 365 days of JM. No, I'm just adding up. 365 days of JM. We've abolished betting tax. We've abolished COVID-19 levy, and then all that. 365 days of JM. We've seen inflation at a single digit over a long period of time, 6.3%. 365 days of JM in power. We've seen the CD to the dollar exchange rate stabilize over a long period of time. Today, the exchange rate today is about 10.6 something. 365 days, most especially that I'm ending. No single iota of corruption in the John Dramani Mahama administration. No single iota of corruption. 365 days. Unlike the MPP administration, by this time, we are already seeing the bust scandal where 5 million liters of fuel had already lost. We've seen by this time, under the MPP, we've seen the moving pin, we've seen PDS, we've seen all that. 365 days of John Dramani Mahama, no single corrupt scandal.
Okay. I think I'll give President Mahama 3/10. The reason I'm giving him 3 is that there is stability of the cedi. The inflation has come down. We have cheaper fuel today, so 3%. Because,
may even go down today.
Yes. Yeah. So if you look at galamsey, it's worsening. He said they have repealed some of the taxes. The one that they had introduced is far exceeds what they have really introduced, because the Dumso levy alone is giving them 11 billion. COVID-19.
But we are not feeling anything.
COVID-19 e-levy, you feel it when it becomes, when the prices go high.
The prices are still coming down.
So the e-levy was given 3.5, COVID-19 was given 2.7, and so when you compare all those that they had abolished, the Dumso levy alone outweighs all. Galamsey is worsening. Utility prices are very high.
Ghanaians don't even know there's anything called
we're paying up to 32% in electricity.
I have bought for
we're paying 20% in water. Utility prices are higher. Workers are suffering. Workers who had worked for 1 year had only been given 1 month. We interviewed them yesterday here. You understand? So how can you assess the person?
The indicators Awal mentioned to give us 3% were something that for 8 years they fight to achieve.
Okay.
So you got only 3% in terms of viewers, you left them out.
Brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. No, for his Papa Parfait, Cuba natural fruit juice. That's what you need today as you go about your daily activities.